Hey everyone, it's me, Arthur Kade, and tonight we're on the red carpet for the New York Film Critics Series premiere of a terrific new indie, Tumbledown. We'll be bringing you interviews with the star, Jason Sudeikis, as well as the first-time directors, so get ready for a great night behind the velvet rope. This is such a change of pace for you, this role. I really loved it, man. This guy is sincere, he's nice, he's prickly.
Sure.
Very big departure from Horrible Bosses or The Millers.
Yeah.
What drew you to this?
The script, written by Desi right there, and then meeting with Sean, the director. But yeah, it was that exact thing. I thought it was great parts for both the male and the female. I thought it was had an even older school rom-com vibe than I would say even something classic like When Harry Met Sally or You've Got Mail or Sleepless in Seattle, all of which I love. But it almost had like a Katharine Hepburn, Cary Grant kind of feel to it. Not to compare myself to those guys. I think Rebecca's a lot closer than I am necessarily.
I just read your review where they were comparing you to Jimmy Stewart.
So that's all. Hey, that's flattering.
Yeah. You nail it.
But yeah, I would. It was that 100%. Yeah, that.
I love the story about the cult rock figure because I'm a music guy, so I've always been fascinated what it would like to be a journalist where you have to document somebody's life. When you start just jamming into that role, what's it like for you?
Well, I sort of came about it as a fan of music myself, and sort of, but also, I'm lucky. I consider myself lucky, at least, that I get to do this for a living versus necessarily write about it or critique it or anything. So for me, it was about getting inside the mind of someone that maybe can't write music, that doesn't sing or anything, but loves it so much that where does that disconnect come from? And a lot of times I feel it's the curiosity that one that can't do something that is always curious about what it's like to be able to do something. And I think that's where my character's probably coming from, is like thinking that he must be, because he's a genius, he must be broken in some way. And yet throughout the course of the film we find out that maybe Hunter Miles, the character that we're talking about, this fake folk singer, may not be the only broken one in the mix.
First movie, what's it like to have one under your belt now? It's got to be so cool, right?
Well, it's just been an amazing journey for us. It's about 8 years that we've been trying to make the film, so to have to wait that long for your first film makes it feel extra special. And getting to share it with large audiences now and sort of lurking in the back and listening to them laugh, hoping that they weep, it's really indescribable. I can't wait to keep watching it with people.
Yeah, when we started, when I started writing scenes, we were dating. We just moved in together in Los Angeles, and since then we got engaged and married and had 2 children. We now have a first grader. Like, our entire lives have sort of gone by in the creation of this film. We've, since our daughter Arden was born, Tumbledown has predated her. She's never heard of a time.
It's like a child all to itself.
Oh, it's our first conceived, but third born kind of thing. So it's sort of been our decade of making this film. So
I just don't know what we're going to talk about anymore. Now that the film is done.
You've got to write another one.
We'll have to get a dog. We'll have to get another dog.
You've got to make another one. Although hopefully it's not 8 years.
Yeah, in fact, our daughter Arden I said the other night as I was tucking her in, Tumbledown's premiering and now it's going to be over. We're not going to have to talk about it all the time. And she said, but the next one won't take 8 years because we're not first-time filmmakers anymore. Yeah.
When you go through the process, obviously you get Jason and Rebecca on board. I was just telling Jason, the chemistry between them is just so palpable and it's fun. There's this prickliness. They're going away, coming back, going away. When you see that brought to life, your words brought to life on screen, what's that like?
Oh, I mean, that's incredible because they didn't know each other beforehand. We introduced them during a rehearsal period, just like a read through a couple days before we started shooting, and it was uncanny to hear these lines that were written 8 years ago or something, all of a sudden just
lines that we really had been just doing between ourselves, workshopping them together and just playing the roles back and forth. And to hear Jason and Rebecca open their mouths and bring these characters to life almost exactly as we'd always dreamed. I mean,
or
from
better.
The get-go,
right.
They just filled it with so much soul and intelligence, and they're both so funny together. And I think it was a discovery for them, too, since they'd never met. That first read-through, I mean, you could see them kind of getting interested in each other, kind of falling in love with a shared sense of humor. And it just was the luck of the draw in a way that we got two really smart performers like them.